Welcome to the program. I'm Mark Imperial. This segment's being brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done to educate consumers, grow their practices, and leave a legacy. We're doing a series of spotlights on remarkable advisors from across the country. And joining me on this segment is Samantha Dinh. She's the founder of Paragon Financial Planning. Samantha, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me, Mark.
Samantha, tell us a little bit about your work at Paragon Financial Planning, and specifically, who are the types of folks that you help?
I am a certified financial planner, and basically, what I do is I help small businesses, families, and entrepreneurs. I live in the Bay Area, so a large part of my clients are retirees as well as techies. And what I do is I help clients do three things. First is I help clients make money. Two is I help clients protect their money, but more importantly, themselves and their families. And third is I help clients transfer their money to their loved ones and hopefully the least amount of taxes legally possible. So
Right,
make, protect, and transfer.
right on. So, has this recent pandemic created any sort of a shift in your industry or in people's mindsets? What have you been hearing throughout this novel time?
You know, there's always going to be something that happens, and this definitely has happened once in 100 years. And so there hasn't been a huge shift. What I have seen is that it's caused more urgency. I mean, financial planning has always been around, but when we're faced with our own mortality, it really brings people into more of a planning mode where they know that this is something they've been putting off for a long time, but this is something now it's urgent that they need to take care of their estate planning, their life insurance. How do they make sure that they have enough emergency funds for their families that could not only last 3 to 6 months, but perhaps maybe now 6 to 12 months? So it really brings the urgency to put their financials at the forefront.
As you mentioned, people tend to put this kind of stuff off. Have you found that there are any myths or misconceptions out there that people hold that might keep them procrastinating and keep them from getting stuff in order? What have you heard people say, or excuses, or myths or misconceptions you've heard?
Um, that I don't have enough money and I don't know what I'm doing. At every point of wherever, whether you're a multimillionaire or just starting from scratch, there is advice and financial planning tidbits that you can do to improve and get better. Just making a step forward. And the main thing is realizing where you are, because if we don't know where you're at, we don't know where we're going. So the best thing to do is really face it and acknowledge it and try to learn about where you are so you can get to where you want to be.
You mentioned some, tidbits that people can do, little things, not big things. So, can you give us examples of maybe one or two like tidbits that can keep people on track and doing the right things?
Definitely. One of the things I think everyone should really know is how much are you spending? The little things that you're spending. I mean, one thing is to know where the money is coming from. The second part is where is the money going? And once you know that and you can figure out what is your positive cash flow or possibly negative cash flow, then you can take that and apply it to your other goals or perhaps fix some things that could possibly you could do better on. So perhaps a little bit less discretionary spending here to maybe put some money towards a life insurance policy to protect the family. Just little tidbits, just a little bit of tweaking.
As you start working with folks, have you found any big common mistakes that people make with their money or what they're doing that you can kind of forewarn people about? Any common mistakes or pitfalls you see people fall into?
Um, there is a lot of different possibilities of mistakes, but the one thing that I would say is don't leave any money on the table. So if you're working for a company and they match, make sure that you're putting at least enough to get that free money for the employer match. So that's the one thing that I would say is not only learning about where you are and making sure that you're protected and have a positive cash flow, but then also don't leave any money on the table. And if it's a little bit tight, then try to, you know, a little bit possibly less drinks on the side, maybe bobas, where it's very popular here in the Bay Area, and put a little bit towards more of your 401k or some kind of retirement plan, so you not leaving any free money on the table.
It's amazing how every little bit really can count and make a huge difference. It's like little hinges swing big doors. So,
Correct.
Samantha, what inspired you to get into financial services and to start helping people in this area of their life? How did you get started in this field?
Wow, Mark, that's a really great question. And I love answering this because out of college, I was actually on my way to law school, and my brother's an attorney. So, more power to a lot of the attorneys who, a lot of them are my clients. But I really found that I loved working with people. I loved win win situations where if my clients are able to succeed, that I could succeed. And I love just talking to people. And so I've always been good at problem solving, and I'm an avid learner. So I thought, what can I do to utilize all my skills and the things that I love and my passion um, and purpose in life? And I went through many, many, many job fairs out of college, and I saw financial planning, and I thought, oh my gosh, that makes perfect sense. And coming from an Asian background, the only careers, as you know, probably that exist is doctors, engineers, and lawyers. And so I thought,
Now I'm
okay, I'm gonna.
Filipino, so add nurses.
There you go. So when I approached my parents and I said I'm going to be a financial planner, they thought I was nuts. And this is granted before 9/11. This was like early 2000. Um, and so 20 22 years ago, I thought, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And after 20 some odd years, it's just been one of the most fulfilling um, opportunities that I have to be in my clients' lives and be able to help them succeed and to see their families grow and them growing and having the life that they want, that I was a part of helping them get there, has just been serving my life's purpose. And so thank you for asking me that. That was, I love that question.
That must be a really rewarding experience for sure. So, Samantha,
It
before I ask
is.
you my last question, for folks that are considering working with an advisor, but they just don't know where to start, what would you advise them? How should they start meeting an advisor? What should they look for? What's important?
I would say whoever you do choose, choose someone who is a certified financial planner, who is a fiduciary, and who you could see yourself having a long-term relationship with. And just like doctors and plumbers, interview at least three and pick someone who you can see yourself um, having a long-term relationship with, who could convey hard concepts into simple terms. You don't want anyone to talk over you. You want someone who's like a friend who could say, well, these are the pros, here are the cons, and this is what I would do. And so to really help guide them, but not talk down to them, and really be that resource of invaluable information to help them better their lives and their families' lives.
Really sage advice. I appreciate that. Samantha, for folks
My
who are tuning
daughter's
in,
name's Sage. Thank you.
that's serendipitous. So, Samantha, for folks that are listening right now that would love to speak with you and meet with you, how do they find you, connect with you, and learn more?
Great. So they could Google paragon-fp.com. That is my website. And my phone number is 510-227-5354. We're located in the Bay Area, California. And yes, definitely shoot us an email and a phone call, and we'd love to talk with you.
This has been terrific. Samantha, I really appreciate you taking the time and sharing with my audience today. And I wish you continued success for you and for all of your clients.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you for having me. God bless.
That was Samantha Dinh, the founder of Paragon Financial Planning. And this segment's been brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done to educate their consumers, grow their businesses, and to leave a legacy. That's all for now. I'm Mark Imperial, and thanks for joining me.